for being here. My name is Karen Handel, and I'm a candidate for United States Senate. Folks, Washington is a mess. Only in Washington could they take an immigration bill from 20 years ago plus, relabel it reform, and try to fool us that it's going to do something different or get us to a better place. We know it's deja vu all over again. Only in Washington could a bill that is 80% food stamps be called the Farm Bill. And only in Washington could the very people who spent us to a $17 trillion debt actually stand before you and ask for a promotion. We need to do things differently, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for new leadership, a new and different perspective brought to the United States Senate. I am a candidate and an individual with a track record of getting things done in the toughest of environments. When I first came as president and CEO of the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, I thought I had the dream job. But after 3 months, I discovered that the finance director had been embezzling money for 7 years before I got there. The organization was quite literally on the brink of bankruptcy. I had to stand before the board, convince them that I had the stuff that it was going to take to turn this organization around, to secure a loan, to bridge us to better financial times, and then I had to deliver. And I did that, turning that chamber around and putting it on solid footing so it could move forward and be able to do what chambers do in communities all across this state and all across this country, which is grow jobs. When I was elected chairman of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, I faced a $100 million budget deficit. No one thought that I would be able to balance that budget without a tax increase. It was an uphill battle, to be sure, because I did not have a majority of Republicans on that board. It was 3, maybe 2.5 Republicans, and the rest were Democrats. But I was able to do it. I was strategic, I was smart, I was targeted in how I took those cuts, and I managed the process to move it forward. And I did fill that $100 million deficit by making strategic cuts. We balanced that budget without a tax increase each and every year that I was chairman of the Fulton County Commission. When you gave me the privilege of serving as your first elected Republican Secretary of State, I said that I was going to do the right thing when it came to elections integrity. I was able to move forward and get photo ID implemented in our state when it had languished. I was able to have a verification process put in place. I took on the Department of Justice so that we could make sure that only U.S. citizens were going to vote in our elections here in the state of Georgia. I also cut that agency's budget by nearly 20%. Again, I did it strategically and targeted, and then I streamlined processes to get good savings and get efficiency so that we could serve the people of Georgia better in the areas that we were serving you, from business licensing to corporations. I was tough on elections fraud in putting in place an inspector general for the first time in our state so that we could really go after voter fraud in a very aggressive way. That's the kind of leadership that I am going to bring to the United States Senate. I am about getting things done, not about rhetoric, not about sound bites. I am about getting things done. And if you believe that things need to be done differently in Washington, then by golly, we need someone different going to Washington, because we need less Washington there, not more. We've got to deal with the out-of-control spending. Out-of-control spending that over the past 20 years has built up in a way that has left us with a massive debt. Now, some in this race, they're going to talk about voting no. Others are going to talk about how they made some little cuts here and there to their office budget or to a committee budget. That is not enough. We must roll back the size and scope of federal government. Let the states do what they would like to do, but we must reduce the federal budget, reduce the federal spending, and get that deficit under control. I will lead and be the champion for finally achieving a balanced budget amendment in this country. We must have that, bring it to you at the states to ratify it, so that we never, ever find ourselves in this predicament ever again. And we do have a problem with immigration, but let's tell it like it is. It's a problem with illegal immigration. And we need to enforce the rules and the laws on the books now. give our Border Patrol agents the resources and, frankly, the latitude that they need to do the jobs that we are asking them to do. We need to have a full audit of all regulations on the books in the United States of America. We need to go through them systematically, determine what we really need, what is crushing businesses, stifling their ability to create jobs. And then we need legislation to require automatic sunset on any and all regulatory regulations out there so that Congress is forced to look at these so that they don't stay on the books for decades to come when times have changed. There's a lot of other issues that we can talk about and deal with, and I'm sure we'll get to some of them in the Q&A. You know, there are a lot of people in this race. It's a crowded field for United States Senate. But if you believe that things are broken, then that means that we do need to send different people to Washington. My opponents are all great people, really nice people. They have served their districts and our state well. But if you believe things are broken, we need to send different people to Washington. I am that individual. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue to have the type of environment that we have now where they just kick the can down the road for the sake of getting through another election. We must be bold, and the time to act is now. I ask you this: what is the legacy that we are going to leave for generations to come? You know, we are so fortunate and blessed in the things that we have been able to achieve and the opportunities that we've had because of the generations that sacrificed greatly for us. World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. And the truth is, the challenges that we face today, they pale in comparison to what those generations had to step up to and deal with. I believe we are up to it. But my question to you is, what will be our legacy? Will it be out of control spending? Will it be a crushing debt? Is it going to be ever-expanding federal government that is expanding dependency and crushing the very will to pursue the American dream? Is it going to be diminishing freedoms? I refuse to resign myself to that America. We must refuse to resign ourselves to a lesser America. Together we will rise to the occasion, because that is what has always made America great, and we will do it again. We will do it again. I ask for your vote to be your next United States Senator so that together we will tackle these challenges. We will face them head on. We will face them with candor and straightforwardness, and we will get the job done and ensure that the future of America remains, that America is the greatest land of opportunity and the greatest land of the free. Thank y'all. God bless you, and God bless this great United States of America. Thank you.